Down 5, now down 3. Asar Thompson, big block on Lou Dort. Keep an eye on Thompson. We'll get back in transition, and then the lob up top to the all-star Jalen Duren. It's a heck of a sequence. It's a 1-point deficit. Cunningham, Duren. Pistons outscored the Thunder by 18 in the second quarter. That's the worst margin in any quarter for the Thunder this year. Pistons build a 6-point lead at the half. Cunningham, nasty block on defense. Then Tobias Harris finds Duncan Robinson. Not just a shooter, put it on the deck. Builds the lead to 10. Paul Reed with a block. Then Cunningham, former #1 pick, a superstar. And once again, it's defense turning to offense. The lead is 14. Aaron Wiggins.
I like turtles.
Thunder cut the lead to 4. That's still the deficit. Now it grows to 6 as Cunningham gets 2 more. Then Cunningham finds Duren. Duren had 29. Cunningham had 29 as well. Third consecutive game for Cunningham with 10 assists and 3 blocks as well. Longest streak in the NBA since a block stat became official back in 73-74. Speaking of streaks, 9 straight for Wemby and the Spurs, taking on the Raps. And leading in the second quarter, Wembanyama with a deflection to De'Aaron Fox. Kick ahead Dylan Harper, who had 15 at half. That's a career high. Spurs lead by 3. Stephon Castle, last year's Rookie of the Year, with a big bounce. Spurs down 2 at halftime. Early fourth, Raps leading by 10. Colin Murray balls. Head fakes and flat-footed Wembanyama. Another look, holds his ground and is able to turn that away. He had 5 rejections on the evening. About a minute later, Castle pick and roll up top, unfair. Deficit now just 5. Spurs down 3 off the miss. Julian Champagnie, Fox corner 3. That ties things at 96. Now Spurs leading. Champagnie. Wembanyama, corner 3. He had 12 and 8. Quiet night from a statistical standpoint, but all that matters is the scoreboard. Spurs continue to lead. Fox from behind the backboard. He had 20. The lead is 4. 8 to go in the game. Brandon Ingram. Head fake, gets a clean look for the tie and hits the side of the backboard. It's a good player that's rarely going to miss by that margin. San Antonio, 10 straight. They moved to just 2 games back of the Thunder for the top seed in the West. 10 straight, the longest winning streak since they won 13 in a row a decade ago, on the way to a franchise record 67 victories. Kawhi Leonard was the leading scorer for the Spurs squad. Also had Tim Duncan in the final of his legendary 19 seasons in the league. The game we followed on Wednesday evening, the Celtics on a back-to-back at altitude. That's not easy. Jason Tatum traveling with the team on their 4-game road trip. Top 2 teams in terms of offensive efficiency. Keep that in mind as we watch that. I mean, where is it on the board?
As Scott Van Pelt would say, sublime.
Or lucky. We'll take it. Colorado native Derek White cooking in the first half. 18 in the second quarter. Tied for the most in any quarter in his career. Close game at the half. In the second half, Nuggets leading by 5. Jokic loses it, and then it actually works out better because he steps back, hits the 3. The lead is 8. Jaylen Brown with a turnover. KJ Simpson. 11-0 run to end the third quarter. Double-digit lead heading into the last quarter. Off the miss. Tim Hardaway Jr. with the 3. It's a 14-point lead. And Jokic, as we've reached the portion of the season where it looks like the bear has mauled his triceps, he fights through those wounds, and Jokic goes for 30, a dozen, 6 assists, and they get the victory. Brian Windhorst joins us now, and Wendy, though Denver got the victory, I want to ask you about Boston and Tatum's traveling with him. I'm interested in this thought. It seems clear he's coming back, unless it's all just a ruse for a documentary. How much runway do you feel like he needs to be not just playing, but the guy that could be a difference maker come playoff time?
Well, first off, he's actually traveled with them all year. And it's not something you normally see from a player who's on a long-term injury. And he's focused, he's all year long, he's worked out alongside them, even when he was very much in the early stages of the recovery process. But that's an indication he didn't ever want to lose touch with the team. I think he's always, throughout the whole year, planned to come back. But if you want a timeline, you are not going to hear it from the Celtics or from Tatum's camp. What I will say is two things. One, we just saw a player return last night from an Achilles injury. DeJounte Murray came back to the Pelicans. He had not played for 13 months. Jason Tatum is not even at 10 months yet. So obviously the Pelicans and the Celtics have different set of circumstances, but the Pelicans haven't given up on this season. So that's 13 months versus 10 months, a player who thought he was ready. So I just want to keep that in mind. The second thing is, when Tatum needs to be really contributing, in my view, is the second round of the playoffs, okay? Because that's where the chips are going to be down. There are, in my eyes, 4 very good teams in the East, and there's a couple more teams that can see themselves getting to the conference finals. There's going to be 2 or 3 teams that don't make it to the conference finals that are going to have very disappointing seasons. You're going to have to be playing at a high level to get those second 4 playoff wins. That's when they're going to need Jason Tatum. I believe in this Celtics team that they can defend well enough, they can put together something to get to the second round. So when you think about the timeline, think about the first 2 weeks of May. That's when you need Tatum at fuller power. Don't worry about how he might look when he comes back his first couple of weeks.
I appreciate the distinction off the top, by the way. He's been with him all year. It's simply that we're paying attention now through a lens of, hey, might we see him soon? Right. And I'm with you. That second round is where, if you've suddenly got him, you're a team that's more talented than your second seed. Now, in terms of the West, the Thunder are still the Thunder. They still have this lead. Here come the Spurs. OKC's banged up. As things become more clear, again with an eye on the playoffs, how broad a lens are you using to look at the true contenders in the West?
Yeah, so I've had my hotel reservations booked for the finals in Oklahoma City for months now, okay? I have felt that they are the strong favorite to win the West. Scott, I have an announcement.
Okay.
I have made hotel reservations in San Antonio. And the reason is because there's a certain hotel I want, number one. I don't want you messing around. Secondly, Victor Wembanyama is so special, okay? And my instincts of 23 years covering the NBA are a team that has never played in a playoff game together is not winning 12 playoff games in the Western Conference. That's what my instincts tell me. But then I watch Wembanyama, and I watch how these guys defend, and I am taking the impossible off the table. The last time we saw a team go from having basically no playoff experience together to reaching the finals was the Shaq team in Orlando in the 90s. I was a kid. I was in high school. I watched it, the arena, all that stuff. In fact, I saw Brian Hill last night here in LA. Shaquille O'Neal and Victor Wembanyama, you may have a Shaquille O'Neal here. I don't know, but I'm not taking it off the table. And so I look at the Spurs very, very seriously. And they're right on the heels of the Thunder now because of all these injuries that the Thunder have. Thunder's still my number one. The other team is Denver, because I think Denver, when they're together and at full power, have the ability that they can beat those 4 teams 4 out of 7. After that, I don't have anything. I don't even have a hotel in Denver yet.
Hotel
but I respect their ability. No.
You might have just spoken into existence. My wife last year, a Florida alum, said, can I book a hotel in San Antonio? I said, sure, why not? This was before the tournament even started. And she was there on Riverwalk watching the Gators win. So who knows? Maybe you're speaking the Spurs into existence. I want to close with this, and you can laugh at me if the answer is no. But in our meeting, this conversation came up. With SGA injured and this certain threshold you have to hit in terms of game played and postseason awards and things of that nature, teams are managing this load with the eye on the playoffs. But do these conversations at all come up about giving guys enough games to hit these postseason award type numbers? Is that even at all a consideration?
They will not admit it, but their actions indicate yes. That over the last couple of years, there are players, and sometimes they have gone above and beyond what they prefer to do and then still don't get the threshold. But the NBA has watched this, and they think the 65-game rule does work and does bring star players